I could scream from the rooftops at every single Democratic representative to just do Bernie. Just fake it. Just do Bernie. Just do Bernie. Just do Bernie. This is another example of this, hugging the middle, moderation, and hugging and kissing right-wing fascists. It doesn't work. Gavin Newsom wants to be president, okay? So what did he do? He set up a podcast. He heard that, like, you know, podcasts are so important for winning elections. Guess what, dude? Here's new data on the reaction to Gavin Newsom's new podcast. Favorability amongst liberals has declined from 40% to 30%. While some Republicans agree with the stances, they overwhelmingly viewed him as insincere, calling him fake and pandering. His net favorability went from +4 to a -6 to a 10-point swing in the wrong direction. Only 13% of voters had an improved perception of him, and only 1 in 5 said the podcast made them want to tune in for more. It doesn't even work in the sphere of podcasting. And Democrats are so one note on this, like, let's hug and kiss the middle. Let's find this, like, reasonable moderate between fucking Steve Bannon and Gavin Newsom that they even fail at podcasting. I don't understand what these guys are doing. It feels like they just look to some of the most historically unpopular figures like Kyrsten Sinema or Joe Manchin within the Democratic Party, and they're like, we need to be more like that. Why? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Like, at this point, it's just a podcast, right? It's just a podcast. You want to win an election, don't you? You want to win elections. You want to fucking have a successful podcast. It doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever to behave like this, to operate like this. It doesn't make sense at all. They're eroding. Looks like Democrats are saying we don't want to hug the middle. New NPC poll shows 2-1 Democratic leaders to fight back, even if it means partisan gridlock. It is funny to me, though. Like, they are at the very least honest, it seems. They are at the very least honest. Like, the Democrats seemingly are intellectually and morally consistent on this, where they're like, yeah, even if my podcast fucking fails, I still don't care. I'm still going to abide by this weird ass this weird ass attitude that there is some semblance of like if I were to advocate for the moderate middle, like, then magically someday people will come to terms with what I'm doing. Dems are partnering with more creators, though some worry about an over-reliance on the same friendly/safe group. Dems are so afraid of doing or saying any wrong thing, said Olivia Giuliana, who has not been invited to any creator events since the election. Who are they going to sign off on? Who are they going to work with? They're trying to do it themselves, too. That's the other side. Dude, that's so funny that fucking Olivia Giuliana is not considered safe enough. That's amazing. Oh, that's so awesome. David Pacman. Yeah, Brian Tyler Cohen. David Pacman. The problem is, maybe not David, but like Brian is probably fucking actively criticizing them too. Midas Touch. Midas Touch is like a liberal safe territory. I mean, this stuff is so bad too. Like, this also has 128 likes. Like, it's so ass. If you're 800 years old, you should not be making TikToks. I mean, you shouldn't even be in Congress, in my opinion. I'm sorry. There's a collection of 47 content creators and staff are involved in the Democratic Strategic Communications Committee's efforts, said of the party's 47 senators, including 2 independent who caucus with the Democrats. The Senate that Booker chaired, SCC, is driving the creator-focused work. Booker, an early adopter of Twitter and now a fan of selfie-style videos, said he approached Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. Oh my God. There's 2 categories in my analysis. Whenever I look at the actions of the party, I look at 2 categories. Is like, is this malicious and they are controlled opposition? Or is this because they're fucking stupid? This, to me, is the fucking stupid camp. This is not like malicious controlled opposition camp. This is fucking stupid camp. In most circumstances, it's both, but this is like an entirely fucking stupid camp decision. Like, they want to do something, but they're too stupid to figure it out. That's what this is. They want to do something. They saw the podcast popping off, tried to warn people as much as I fucking could in this entire process. Mainstream media was coming out and interviewing me like, oh, who's the Joe Rogan of the left? You're the Joe Rogan of the left. And I kept saying, you can't podcast your way out of this problem. You can't podcast your way out of this problem. The party has to change its policies. The party has to communicate earnestly about changing people's material conditions for the better. And they were like, okay, nope, we're going to try to podcast our way out of this problem. Good luck. Oh my God. Even if you remove politics from the equation and think about this on pure marketing terms, it makes no sense to not try to understand what your audience wants from you. Yeah. Booker says he sees his role as SEC chair as encouraging his colleagues to take the energy they'd bring to a town hall and instead put it on a digital platform. Calling the talk the anatomy of virality, he pointed out how Republicans were able to get their message, whether it was Joe Biden tripping or falling or Ted Cruz going on a rant in front of voters while Democrats were not. Normally, senators don't film. By the way, look at this. This entire article has clips of the Democrats attempting to do this, and then the analytics right here demonstrate that fucking failure. It's not that people can't hear you because you're not directly reaching out to them. It's because people don't like your message, because people don't believe you. People don't believe that you have their best interest in mind. And why should they believe that? You spend every fucking election cycle complaining about how people have to vote for you or else all hell will break loose. And when you're in the minority party, you have some tools at your disposal. You have some tools at your disposal to resist against the Trump administration, and you throw those tools aside and you spit on the face of your fucking voters. All you're good for is begging for fucking donations, man. It's disgusting. Why would people ever defend you? Why would people ever vote for you again? You're so bad. You're so bad at your fucking job. I can't believe that we spend any time on how genuinely awful the Democrats have been pre-election cycle, post-election cycle, when the Trump administration is gutting the administrative state, when they're doing fascist-ass bullshit, violating the last bastion of a constitutional democracy with checks and balances. They're just destroying the judiciary. And Democrats are so incompetent that, like, I have to sit here and be like, do something. Fucking do anything. Oh my God. While the videos did draw attention from the right, many Democrats, including Congress, questioned whether it was a smart move. Collaborations, cross-posts, and influencer row. Senators participated in a live stream with Pod Save America while opposing the nomination of Office of the Management Budget Director Russell Vought. And they made videos with creators virtually and in person during the budget vote-orama. House Democrats have also welcomed creators to the Capitol, where they've interviewed lawmakers alongside traditional reporters. In one such instance, at a news conference on Medicaid, a clip of Jasmine Crockett went viral for what her message to us would be. Democrats seem to be really leaning into profanity. They're doing TikTok dances, dude. Oh, God, they literally didn't understand that people resent that shit, okay? Americans hated nurses doing TikTok dances during COVID. Do you understand? Nurses that were risking their fucking lives every day to make sure that people weren't dying. Americans despise that shit. They literally were like, oh, fuck, why the fuck are you dancing? How dare you dance? It's COVID time and you're over here dancing. Now the one group of people that are the least popular people in America are running around and doing TikTok dances. What the hell are they doing? Yeah, this is a great question. Do you think Bernie was popular on the internet because he was doing TikTok dances, or was it because he was saying policies young people are excited by? They will never change, man. No, I know. Yeah, Bernie famously is a big TikTok dancer. That's why they like him so much. Bernie's entire existence and his overwhelming popularity across the board, across party lines, unironically destroys this argument in its entirety, but they just cannot fucking admit that, because that would mean admitting ideological defeat. These guys are zealots, okay? They are loyalists. They believe in third-way neoliberalism through and through. That's it. That's the only thing they believe in. They don't care about anything else. They just want to maintain that project. I could scream from the rooftops at every single Democratic representative to just do Bernie. Just fake it. Just do Bernie. Just do Bernie. Just do Bernie. And that's it. Yeah. Angela, I'm no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I'm changing the things I cannot accept.
I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept. Here's to the great Angela Davis.
Sick, man. Sick. You're really cooking with that one. Thank you. Wow, that one banged. When every other person in the caucus is 850 years old, they look at that and they go, well, you know, he's a handsome man. He's a handsome young boy. For the joint session, Democrats brought 40 creators in to meet with more than 150 members. Sully Jessica Wu, an influencer known as Bento Box Queen, who built an audience of millions while making lunch for her daughters, was invited to the Capitol by Chorus, a new collective that supports creators advocating for democratic causes and policies. She's the influencer behind the viral Choose Your Fighter video. That's who made that video? The Choose Your Fighter video? Oh no. Oh my God. Oh no. I don't know anything about this influencer. I know the video that they're talking about. You know what? Let's watch it. Let's watch that fucking video. Oh no. M HUD. I broke up with sleep last night and I'm dating coffee this morning. I appreciate her warmth and stimulating company. Sleep and I broke up. I'm dating coffee now. She is hot. Sleep and I broke up. I'm dating coffee now. She is hot. Unfortunately, it happened again. Sleep and I broke up. I'm back with coffee. I thought I told you. Sleep and I broke up. I'm dating coffee now. She is hot. I had another fight with Sleep. We broke up again. So I'm back with coffee now. She is hot. A far, far more worthy love than coffee.
Choose your character.
I'm just going to keep running this on repeat.
Choose your character.
Like, this is the thing that people don't understand. Look. Representative Catherine Clark, House Minority Whip, Massachusetts 5th Congressional District, not into hair dye. I don't care. I don't care. Nobody cares. Don't try to make these people into fucking influencers. I don't give a fuck. The only reason why people would care about their personal background of these people and like develop parasocial relationships with them is if they like what they're advocating for and believe that they're earnestly on board with making their lives better. That's it. Public defender attorney, not a morning person. Like, no one. This is aping Trump, to be honest, the liberal version. Him going on talking about whatever the. Yes, but the problem is, there's two problems there. One, Trump is a fucking television personality. He already had an audience. He already had a level of prominence, and he's telegenic. And not only that, but he tapped into the things that he successfully perceived as his base caring about, even if he personally doesn't care about them. You understand? Like he's so actively, he talks about how he talks about trans people all the time now, right? All the fucking time. If you recall, a couple years prior, even when he was running for president in 2016, he was like pro-trans, openly pro-trans. A couple years ago, when he announced his candidacy, he kept saying, yeah, you guys care about trans people a lot. You care about it more than you care about tax cuts. He knows what his base wants and he responds to it. He gives them what his base wants, even if it's fucking red meat. He'll give his base the red meat that they want. And that creates this cycle where he's both charismatic and telegenic enough, but also simultaneously he's like offering things to his base of support. You cannot create popularity like this. It just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You can't just be like, yeah, I'm a Trekkie for AOC. If they did this video, not in this cringe ass way where like, it's like a choose your fighter style situation, but instead, if they were like, here, I'm going to introduce you to these congresspersons and we're going to talk about the top 3 policies that they are going to advocate for the rest of their fucking lives, okay, until the cows come home. This would be a more impactful video. It sounds nerdy, but that's what people care about. Nobody gives a what your favorite TV show is. You know what I mean? Hates balloons. Like, oh man, I hate balloons too. Now I feel so close to this person. Like, that's not how this goes. No one will watch it either. No, you're wrong. Dude, I have 40,000 people in here every fucking day. What are you talking about? Do I talk about like the personalities behind the fucking things? Or do I talk about the policies and their impact on your fucking lives? My own personality or my own parasocial shit comes after. It's secondary to the causes that I advocate for. That's what's most significant. What do you mean? I'm not even a fucking congressperson either. There are living, breathing examples of this, like Bernie Sanders, Claudia Sheinbaum. Oy, oy, oy. At first, Wu said the response to the fighter video was positive. Feedback focused on girl power, fighting for her audience, which is largely made up of younger women. But then it went to the wrong side. She said she didn't mind, though, because she would like to interview Trump and give him a hug, because I feel like he really needed that growing up. Oh, my God. The only people who think that video is cringy are older people that don't do TikToks, Wu said. Gen Z people in my comments are like, love it. They think it was just another video. They probably even scrolled. They didn't even think twice. Then the message failed. Like, no disrespect to this content creator, okay? No disrespect to this content creator. Like, this is still entirely the fault of the Democratic Party. Going to a safe influencer, safe because they don't fully they're not fully invested in the American political machine and how to win elections and whatnot. It's their cowardice that is causing them to develop results like this one that come across as insanely cringy to people who do care about this shit. In any case, this is where we're at. A Democratic content creator and strategist, Olivia Giuliano, saw a shift in Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries' approach after he met with a small group of content creators at the DNC in August. Jeffries sat next to Giuliano during the conversation and took detailed notes as he grilled the group, which also included high-profile political influencers Jack Schlossberg and Carlos Eduardo Espina, about what's driving the conversation online. What concerns? They didn't ask me to fucking be a part of this conversation. I wonder why. Bro, listen, no disrespect to anybody involved, like Jack Schlossberg or Carlos Eduardo Espina. Okay, I think Carlos is good in general. I haven't really seen any of his work, but like maybe you should listen to a broad, more diverse set of ideas. He has since upped his engagement on various platforms and made recent appearances. Oh my god.
Here in the office, just finished up a telephone town hall meeting.
I can't even look at this. Oh my god, it's so bad. Senator Chuck Schumer slams Trump and Elon Musk in my interview with him. John Faza, the Gen Z analyst, said that while there's certainly a place for the sort of entrenched Democratic and aligned activists, the ecosystem needs to be broadened to include creators who are typically not talking about politics and might not be aligned with one party or another. She praised the inclusion of more of some non-political creators in this joint session. So here's the thing. I agree. It's not just about immediately political content creators that, like, it's not the Daily Wires of the world that have created this robust right ecosystem. It's actually the Theo Vaughns and the Joe Rogans, even though Joe Rogan is now firmly in the right, and the Nelk boys, even though they're now also firmly in the right. Like when they first started and they were gaining prominence, the bar stools of the world, these places were not a part of the Republican media machine. They were not. Harry Sisson, no disrespect, okay, is a part of the DNC machine in the eyes of the audience. That level, like at any sort of access, giving any sort of access to Harry in that regard is basically the same cycle and the same audience that you are captivating. You're not organically building a movement. There needs to be cross-pollination across apolitical places and apolitical spaces, but there isn't. There is none of that.